everybody, welcome to the High Path channel. If you're new, my name is Rosa. I am joined with our 2 daughters and we've got 3 boys that are on the side doing other things. This is Mercy and this is Grace. Today we're going to be doing a whole video on vegan breakfast meal preps. It is fall. Of course, we're going to incorporate some fall flavors, some pumpkin, some cinnamon, things like that. This is our favorite season and we can't wait to show you what we're going to be making today. So let's go.
It is time to meal prep breakfast. Now, some of you have watched our videos many times and you know that I do struggle with breakfast a lot of the times because I work early and I really need breakfast ready to go for the kids every single day. Breakfasts are actually really easy to prep. I will have the recipes in the description box in a blog post if you want to make these yourself.
So let me just show you what we've got going on. I've already started some bread dough here, which I don't really know what I'm going to make with our bread. Either cinnamon rolls or we're going to do some just regular bread, but it's going to be, we do have to make English muffins. We're going to make some English muffins and we're going to do some Beyond sausage lentil omelet. Oh, I forgot the cheese, guys. But we're going to do a breakfast sandwich. So we're going to do breakfast. Let me write this down. Grace is working on Banana Blender Pancakes. This is so easy to make and put together. Mercy is going to work on a peanut butter and chocolate chip oat bars, kind of like a breakfast bar that you get from the store, but it's going to be homemade, and I figured we're going to make it ourselves and not buy anything from the store. I was going to even buy English muffins at the store, but reading the ingredients, I'm like, there's like yellow dye and there's preservatives. I'm like, I couldn't bring myself to buy it. So we have made our own dough here. This is just our regular bread loaf dough recipe. And then I'm going to add some baking soda. We're going to pan fry it and kind of use our pan to cook it. And then it's going to make a delicious little bun for our sausages. So I'm going to work on the Beyond sausage. I'm going to put that in the, actually, no, I'm not.
I am adding some baking soda into our regular bread dough. This will help the English muffins or buns kind of rise a little bit quicker in the pan when we cook it. I've also got the oven preheated at 400 degrees and we're just going to kind of roast our Beyond sausages really quick for about 15-20 minutes or so. We have 3 things going on right now. I am working on the dough for our English muffins, and then Mercy is working on the chocolate peanut butter bars. Grace is working on the blender pancakes. I have 2 cast iron skillets going on, one on the right for the pancakes and one on the left for our English muffins. So for our English muffins, I'm really just, we oiled the pan. We're going to create sort of discs of dough here. I'm going to place them on our pan. We're going to add a little bit of water to steam it and then put a cover on to help sort of pan bake our English muffins.
Whatever's in this oven, it smells so delicious. Let's do a test. Okay.
Working on the peanut butter bars, I've got 3/4 cup of peanut butter. We have some flax eggs going in, some oil, plant-based milk of your choice, vanilla or almond extract or both, some coconut sugar, a cup of flour, some rolled oats, baking soda, and apple cider vinegar. The full written recipe will be in the blog post down in the description if you want to make it yourself.
Does that look fine? It's pretty good, huh? I want you to taste it, just in case, okay? Sorry, eat it. How was it? Good?
It's close.
Our little buns or English muffins are so versatile. You can, if you don't have an oven, like some of you don't, you can definitely put it on this pan and cook it just as is. You only need a minute or 2 on each side. That steam will help it cook all the way. Now the sausage is ready. That it needs to cool. This is our mixture for our peanut butter chocolate chip bars, which we're going to put into a 9x9 oiled casserole dish or baking dish. If you are making this, I would definitely recommend using some parchment paper because it can get very sticky. Then we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for, I would say, about 30-35 minutes or until golden and firm.
And that's fine. Okay, Mercy, come put it in the. Yep, make it round and then just put it in. Thank you. All right, and then now add a little bit of water and then cover it. Right there, there's a cup of water right there, the green one.
Now let's work on the lentil eggs that we are going to be sandwiching in our English muffins. So I have soaked, rinsed, and drained our red lentils. You can use mung beans. I typically like to use mung beans, but we are out, so we just use lentils. I have 3 cups of lentils going in. These are not cooked, so they're just still raw, and I'm putting in 1 cup of water. We're gonna season it with some onion powder, garlic powder if you have, salt, nutritional yeast just for some extra eggy or sort of like cheesiness, umami-ness. And then if you have black salt, which is kala namak, definitely add about a teaspoon of that for the eggy flavor. We're gonna blend this until it's nice and smooth, and we are ready to cook that on our cast iron skillet for the eggs. These will cool for about 5-10 minutes. I just wanted to confirm that our muffins or buns are nicely cooked on the inside, which they are. Grace is finishing our banana blender pancakes. Now, as you can see, we don't use baking powder with any of our baked goods or pancakes, but you could see that it rose perfectly because of that baking soda and apple cider vinegar mixture.
Alrighty, so we figured that we are going to be making cinnamon rolls out of the rest of this dough. To make this more cinnamon roll-y, we're gonna add some cinnamon and some extra sugar into the dough, and then we'll do it on the top of the dough as well.
We're going to knead our extra sugar and cinnamon into the dough itself. Now, I do like to, if I know that I'm going to make a batch of cinnamon rolls, I will add this in a little bit earlier, but this will do. That is perfectly fine. If you guys have watched us before, you know we love cinnamon rolls. I have a full video on how to make cinnamon rolls on our channel, so if you want to learn how to make it without the need of measuring every ingredient, check out that video. We'll have it linked in the description. We make our cinnamon rolls extra ooey gooey and special by lining our baking dish with parchment paper. We will kind of create a coconut oil and sugar and cinnamon mixture on the very bottom. So once it bakes, once it's done, we will flip it over and we will take the parchment off. You will end up with this delicious ooey gooey top of the cinnamon rolls. It's delicious and to die for.
Uh-oh, make sure it's very tight. Okay, now you just cut it and then put it in here.
While Mercy is working on the cinnamon rolls, I am going to get started on another breakfast item, which is called our pumpkin allspice muffins. In a mixing bowl, I have some coconut milk going in, some water, a can of pumpkin puree, some allspice, some cinnamon, apple cider vinegar, baking soda, sugar, and flour. We are going to mix this all up. We are going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 20-25 minutes until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. That's when you know everything is cooked to perfection. Our cinnamon rolls are ready to go. They just need to proof for a little bit longer, about double in size, before we put them in the oven. These are our lentil eggs. We are cooking them with some coconut oil. You could definitely use any other oil you would like. Man, this splash guard really came in handy. I would highly recommend you getting one because they are actually not too expensive and they work wonders. Now, some of you have asked, how do we bake without baking powder? Well, the power is within the baking soda and the apple cider vinegar when it reacts. Just like a science project or science experiment making a volcano, it makes these incredible bubbles, and those bubbles will help your dough or cake batter rise just like a normal cake or muffin would with the added baking powder. I don't like to use baking powder because of the corn in it. We don't know if it's GMO, we don't know if it's organic or not. Usually it isn't because it doesn't say that it is organic. So I just prefer, it's just a personal preference. I don't use baking powder in our home. Cinnamon rolls have proofed. You can see that they're doubled in size, and this is optional, but I like to drizzle some extra coconut milk on the very tops. When this bakes, it actually keeps the dough from drying out. It adds a nice richness to it. It is so good. Just trust me, do it, and just bake it in the oven at 375 for about 30-35 minutes. Alrighty, all the components for our breakfast sandwiches are ready to go. So now it's just a matter of opening up our buns and sandwiching our sausage and lentil eggs. I have seen a lot of breakfast preps where you fold your breakfast sandwiches in a piece of foil or something like that so you can just reheat it. We don't use foil, we don't use anything with aluminum in it, so I am going to just put it in a casserole dish or just any dish that I have with a cover on it. We're just going to store it in the fridge just as is. You can also use some Ziploc bags if you have as well, but we're just going to store it like this so we don't waste any plastic or use Ziploc bags. When we are ready to eat them, we will reheat them in the oven a little bit, and then the kids could add ketchup, whatever other fixins they want to. I didn't add any mayo or ketchup right now because I don't want everything to be soggy, and that's just kind of gross to me. Our peanut butter bars have been cooking and they are cooling down a little bit. I'm going to try to remove this out of the container. Initial thoughts was I was just going to dump it onto my board.
Well, that sucks. We're just gonna have to eat it.
Mom, what did you do?
Sorry.
It'll still taste good.
Alright, I think we're gonna have to put it
Still edible.
back in.
The next time we make this, I definitely will use a parchment to make sure that it does not stick into my pan.
That's actually good.
And also I will definitely have to let it cool all the way through before cutting it.
Flip it back
It
in.
still tasted great.
that.
I am going to put it back into the container,
huh?
and we're just going to serve it as is and leave it in the 9x9 dish.
Ma, this stuff is only for you, me, and Mercy. The boys don't like it.
This?
The boys don't.
This completes our breakfast prep for the week. We've got 5 things. We actually did it in about an hour and a half. It took a little bit longer because, you know, we have to record and do all sorts of things. And of course, I've also tried to get all the dishes done as well. So that is out of the way. We have a lovely spread for us for the next few days. We've got pancakes, a pumpkin muffin, we've got cinnamon rolls, of course, that everyone loves. We have some breakfast sandwiches, and it was kind of a fail. You guys saw it was kind of a fail of this chocolate oat bars, but you know, we're gonna have it as like a baked oatmeal type of thing. It tastes really, really good. And maybe I should have left it and had it cool a little bit more, or even like used parchment, but you know, you live and you learn. Thank you so much for joining us in our meal prep today. We hope that we inspired you to make all these. Like I said, the recipes are in the description if you are going to make them, especially for like things like the pancakes and the muffins. We hope to see you on the next video. Subscribe if you're new, and we will see you later. Bye, everybody.